Welcome to the Founder Fumbles podcast, where we go deep into real life entrepreneur struggles and comeback strategies. I'm your host, Damari Taplin. And today we have the founder of Keeping It G, thought leader, keynote speaker, HR consultant, professional coach, board member of Founders Junior Council at the Detroit Institute of Arts. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Geralyn Gaines.
Yes. Hi, everybody. How you? Hey, Damari.
I did that.
Yeah, so you did do that.
I usually miss that part.
No, you're killing it. You're killing it.
All right, so this is episode 1 of season 2.
Yes.
How does it feel?
Feels good. Thanks for allowing me to be your first guest.
Yeah,
for
I'm
sure.
excited
to kick it off.
So we met at Black Tech Saturdays.
We did.
And you were speaking on the stage.
Yes.
So what were you doing there?
So I was hosting the launch stage for the Digital Empowerment Summit. So as you know, there were like multiple locations, but I was at the launch stage at the College for Creative Studies, hosting over the 2 days.
How did you get connected?
Yes.
How did you get connected with all that?
So it's so funny because I had a moment that morning, the day that I met you, so the second day, I had a moment that morning where everything was going wrong for me. It was, I broke my curling iron, my makeup artist canceled. I mean, I lost my car keys, all these different things. January of this year when they had their kickoff for the year. And it was just interesting because the day that I was going through all of that craziness on day 2, I passed by Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church where they have their January event. It just felt like God was like, oh, like after all this, several months later at this point, this is where you got started. Okay. And that's when I first got exposure to Black Tech Saturdays, just attending the event. So I did that. I attended, they had a Rockets, the CMO of Rocket companies come and speak to everybody that attends Black Tech Saturdays. And then from there, I had one of their team members, the chief of staff, reach out to me and ask me if I'd be willing to host their Women's History Month event. And then since then, I've been tapped in.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You were just a part of, they hired you, but I felt like you was running the whole show.
They're very much running. They're running.
The reason why I thought that is because you are such a brilliant speaker.
Thank you.
You are such a wonderful speaker.
Thank you.
My wife was like, she speaks so well.
Oh, thank you. Shout out to Ellen.
Yeah, I'm like, she does. She speaks wonderful. So
thank you. It's my passion.
I was not leaving that place without getting you to be a guest on my
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
With that being said, how did you become such a great speaker?
It's so funny because I get this question a lot, and I genuinely believe it's my calling. Like, I've had this deep voice since I was 3 years old. So people have told me since I was little, you should be on podcasts, you should be on the radio, you should do the news. And I was like, well, how do you even get into those type of careers, especially being studying journalism? And I didn't study journalism. I studied sociology. And it wasn't until I was at my previous employer for almost 9 years before I found my passion. I'm a very passionate person. So for me, I was like, I'll probably just retire in somebody's C-suite. But the last job I had at my previous employer, they put me on a stage for the first time. And it was just like, it was everything. We had 16 events that year, 2-day long, how to treat guests like family events, 200 to 250 people every event. We hired keynote speakers. It's lights, camera, action, all of that. And for the first rehearsal, we were in our supplier's office, and I did my first run through of the teleprompter, and it was just like, God was like, here you go. Like, this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Like, speaking is a career. I had no idea. It's a $6 billion industry. And I saw how much money we were paying keynote speakers for those events. And I was like, oh, I can make this a career. And so I decided to pursue it.
Yeah. What is a keynote speaker exactly? Because I'm not sure.
Yeah, so keynote speaker. Usually when you see a keynote speaker, they're sharing stories that help transform maybe your perspective or transform your life. And it is, just think about the events that you've gone to in the past. There's probably like somebody opening that event, something really motivating, and then somebody closing the event. And it's just like, kind of ties everything together. But yeah, a keynote speaker is usually somebody who's a storyteller, shares their stories.
Opens up the events, closes the event, and kind of brings out the people and stuff like that too.
Yes.
That's solid.
Yeah, I love it.
I wish I could do something like that.
You can. You're doing it right now. We're speaking.
I'm still at work. The reason I brought you because I wanted to pick your brain. I like getting ready to speak stuff too because I feel like I feel like I'm just not good at it, and I just have a lot of work to do. Everybody tell me like, don't worry about that stuff, but I know deep down that I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm gonna be in contact with you.
Yes.
We gonna keep in touch and all that good stuff. So,
but it also takes a lot of practice too, Damari. Like I feel like I'm a great speaker, but it takes a lot of practice. It was funny because the first Black Tech Saturdays event I came in the day before because I never like for it to be live. The first time I ever deliver what I'm going to say, I never want it to be when it's live. I'd like to come in the day before, maybe a couple hours before to practice. And I remember when their team members was clowning me a little bit. She's like, Geralyn, I can't believe you're here practicing. And I was like, well, I don't want my mess ups to happen the first time when I'm on stage tomorrow in front of everybody else. And so they see my dedication, they see the practice that I put into it, and it's necessary. I never go on a stage just raw. Like I've always put some time in. I've done reps. I've done it in front of my family. Yeah, I don't play around with practice.
Okay.
Yeah, so not Allen Iverson over here.
You practice.
Practice.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, keeping it G.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. First of all, that is the dopest name.
Thank
Because
you.
you don't even have to like throw it in. You don't even have to pretend like it. I mean, not pretend. You don't have to treat it as a business name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how was it? Like, tell us about keeping it G. How do you keep it G? Like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, tell us. You're always keeping it G.
Yeah.
But tell us about the company keeping it G, your business.
Yes. So I want to define keeping it G for everyone. I think just because it is a cultural phrase, the way that I've defined it is staying real, staying grounded, and true to yourself while holding your values despite challenges. It also symbolizes integrity, resilience, and using your voice while empowering others to find and amplify their self-advocacy is such a staple in my life. As an athlete, as a Division I athlete at a predominantly white institution, from my time as an activist at the University of Michigan to being somewhat of an activist in corporate America, that's how I decided to pursue self-advocacy, because I see the power of it, especially when you bring a whole bunch of people together fighting for a specific cause, you can get things done. So I just saw a lot of success for me, but I also saw in corporate in particular, so many people not moving on quickly in their career, and they're wondering, well, why did I get picked for this promotion? Or why did they think of me for, this opportunity? And I was very methodical. I never played around with my career. I was like, okay, I know exactly what job I want. So I'm going to ask, what jobs do I need to get there? And what skills do I need to get there? And so I was always very intentional about having those collaborative conversations with my leaders about how do I get to where I want to go. So yeah, self-advocacy is just who I am. And I think it's something that it just, lives deep within me.
Yeah. So if someone was to go to keeping it G, it has a website, right?
Yes.
So
GeralynGaines.com.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
GeralynGaines.com.
Yes.
Okay. Got
Yes.
you. So it's not keepingitg.com.
Correct.
Okay.
Geralyn Gaines. Geralyn Gaines, keeping it G. That's my Instagram.
Okay. Got you. Okay. That was a little bit confusing for me. Thank you for that. So I do get another question.
Yeah.
Transformational speech.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
A transformational speech, number one, it has to be authentic. It has to be something that you eat, sleep, live, breathe. I think when people see me and they know what work I do, they know I'm a self-advocacy thought leader, because that's what I speak about consistently. Yeah. And I mean, think about like people that that speak, or people that I know that speak on kindness, but that's not how they show up on social media.
Right.
Like that is not authentic, right? So I like to live self-advocacy. So it's something that is authentic to you. It also has to connect deeply with the audience. I wouldn't necessarily take the same speech that I would take to an executive leadership retreat to, the youth in Pontiac or wherever, right? I think it have similar themes, but I would just tailor it to the audience. And also something that challenges limiting beliefs. So if you feel like you're too young to do something, or too old, or you don't have the capacity, you don't have the confidence, if I can challenge your limiting beliefs based on the stories that I share and the success that I've had, or the success I see in people that I coach, that would challenge your limiting beliefs. And you also have to be able to see yourself in the principles. So if I'm talking about confidence, communication, and relationships, which are the things that I speak about most pertinently, that is what I hope that you see based on the lessons that I shared and the principles that I've shared, that you can envision this in your own life. And what really transforms is when people take what you said, it resonates with them, and it inspires them to act. Wow. So I never leave a speech or a workshop without saying, hey, raise your hand about what's the thing that you're going to do right when you leave here that will help promote self-advocacy in your life. Because I want to see, what is that next step? That's how you transform, is can people take what you say and can it inspire them to act?
Right. So push them towards that next step, pretty much.
Correct.
So you also did something with Ford,
Yeah.
motor company.
Yeah.
What did you do there?
I always joke, I had like 7.5 jobs while I was at Ford in 9 years. So the last job, which is where I found my passion, was hosting those major events that I was speaking about.
So wait, so just to be clear,
Yeah.
you don't work there.
I don't work there anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go.
Yes, don't work there anymore. I left Juneteenth of last year, and then I launched Keeping It G a couple months later, September 19th. And yeah, like I said, I saw how much we were paying keynote speakers, and I'm like, wait, I was like, here I am trying to achieve this number annually for my bonus, and this person came in for 60 minutes. It just made my bonus, right? So I was just like, okay, like I can do this. If he can do that, I can do this. And so yeah, I made it a thing. But I worked in global marketing and media. I worked in marketing, sales, and service. I did a lot of customer experience work. That's one of my passions. That is hospitality. Actually, I have a hospitality speaking event coming up soon.
Oh, dope. Yeah. I got my master's in hospitality management.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love it. I love it.
You're also a consultant.
Yes.
What about that?
Yeah, so it's so interesting. I don't think I've ever spoken about this publicly, but when I decided to leave Ford, I took a strategic risk. I always encourage people to take strategic risks, because if I just would have jumped off the deep end, I'm like, I'm just going to make speaking happen and just hope for the best, like I would be broke. So I need consistent income. And I was applying to other corporate jobs for about 10 months while I was still working, and nothing was landing. And I decided to take a leave. And on that leave, I had a more serious conversation with my parents about joining the family business, something I really never considered. I didn't think it was something that would necessarily fit, but it's great because I get to speak all the time. I get to train people all the time, facilitate conversations. We get to go into clients, assess their cultures, and provide recommendations to implement. And also, figure out what their sustainment strategy is. Like, how are we implementing these changes, but also how can they last long term? So I love the work we do on a day-to-day basis, but that is my very solid stream of income every single month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So who exactly is your like target market for your, consulting?
For consulting. So I actually I'm a subcontractor for my family business. My mom has a business. It's JMG Connects.
Okay.
So all the clients that I would touch are through her business, but we have a lot of healthcare clients that we support, which is great because I think a lot of times we go to hospitals and don't necessarily, you're dreading going to the hospital because you could be there all day. You're sitting there waiting for the doctor, waiting for a room. And so we can get in there and figure out a way to improve that experience for patients. That's what we'll do. So yeah, that's how we started.
Let's get back to these. All right. So now it's Founder Fumbles time.
Yes, Founder Fumbles.
Time to ask you some more difficult questions.
Okay.
What's been your biggest challenge as a founder? That's what I want to know.
Biggest challenge as a founder, and I feel like a lot of folks watching this will be able to resonate with this. Self-advocacy is hard. I mean, that is something I do every single day. That's what I believe in. But having to sell yourself constantly, that's a lot of work, right? Especially when I'm selling me. Right? Like I'm not just selling a service or a product. I am the service. I am the product. So that can be very frustrating at times, especially when people don't necessarily see your value. But I would say I place my own value upon myself. I don't let anybody else place a value on me. So also being able to walk away from opportunities. I've had to walk away from multiple opportunities in which I know the budget was there for that certain program, but they don't necessarily want to pay me, maybe because I don't have a big name yet, or maybe they feel like, oh, that was a crazy price. Like I can't believe she would charge that. But the price is the price, and just sticking and staying firm to that is difficult, but it's so worth it. And not only will you respect yourself more, but other people will respect you too. So continually pushing for self-advocacy is the hardest thing that I do, but it is what I've dedicated my life to.
So how do you get past that? How do you recommend somebody else to get past that?
How do I recommend? You have to keep going. Like you have to continue to get up and build grit and resilience because you're going to face no's. I don't think anybody that is horrible with rejection should ever go out on their own and start a business because you will face rejection every single day. So I would just encourage people to like really know what they're good at. I always emphasize how important it is to know your strengths because if you know your strengths, then you can speak about them clearly. You can assert your value more clearly. You know what you bring to the table. So just really hone in on what your gifts are and place the value on what you're providing, and don't let anybody else tell you what you should or should not be charging.
Yeah, that's tricky because a lot of people don't even know what their gift is. You know what I mean?
I know.
And I feel like I could be one of those people.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
my business helps people, find co-founders.
Yeah.
And I also have this podcast where I help entrepreneurs share their story.
Yeah.
But what am I doing? I'm helping entrepreneurs. Like, what is my gift when it comes to that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that I can connect people. I know that I bring entrepreneurs together. I help startup companies share this and all of this stuff. But if you could ask me like what exactly is my gift, I couldn't like give you like just one thing. You know what I mean? I know some things that I'm good at.
Yeah.
Being not even gonna say that, but, but I know some things that I'm good at. But it's a little bit tricky.
It definitely is. But I recommend, like, have you done any strength finder exercises before?
Strength finder exercises. No.
Okay, so one thing I talk about a lot is the Clifton Strength Finder. It costs like $50, but I took it in 2021 while I was still at my previous employer. Yeah. But then I took it again recently, and only 3 out of the 5. So like a top 5 for the $50, but 3 out of the 5 strengths that I had changed over 4 years. So number 1 for me was responsibility. Number 2 was communication. 3, belief. 4, winning over others. And 5 was positivity. So finding strength finder exercises and other, mechanisms and surveys that can help you identify what your strengths are, that may help you align with, okay, like that actually does make me feel good. Because one thing that I have been talking about a lot this year is that my job does feel like a responsibility, and I am responsible to my audience to say things that are meaningful and that resonate, but also, provide safety and psychological safety. That's really important. Like, I never want to give my tools to somebody that would use them for harm. Right. So I always have to be very mindful of what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. But it was just weird that that's been the word for me all year. And then to take the strength finder and to find out that that was my number 1 strength for this year was just like, wow, that makes so much sense.
I appreciate you for you sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
I'm definitely going to try a strength finder.
You
Is it
too.
strengthfinder.com or something?
I think it's Gallup is the company behind it, but it's the Clifton Strengths. Clifton.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to get that. I'm going to make sure I get that from you.
Yes, I will. It's like a 100-question survey. So, yeah.
I'm going to put that in the description too so everybody else can try it.
Yes, highly recommend.
Hopefully you have like an affiliate link or something.
Hey, Gallup, do you need somebody to talk about the strengths? Let me know.
So do you have a co-founder? Are you doing this all by yourself?
Doing it all on my own. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
because my brand is me. So it's like, how can I co-found me?
Right. But you got your mom helping you, right?
No, so her business is, so I'm a subcontractor for her business in the HR consulting space. But I do my own consulting with Keeping It G.
Okay.
But yeah, no, no co-founder, just Keeping It G is me.
So if you don't have a co-founder, what do you do about those skills that you lack? And what skills do you lack? Skills do you lack, and what do you do about that?
Yeah, it's funny. I always tell people, I'm like, I know what I'm good at. So I always outsource a lot of the things that I know that are not my strengths. Like you have a wonderful setup here. My videographer would be here. We're shooting, like it's not my strength to set up a studio. And so I definitely lack, I know at some point when my business gets bigger, systemizing systems, operationalizing systems. So, managing a CRM, managing my sales and my leads and things like that. Like that's something I've never had to do. So I do lack those skills. However, I've been leveraging a lot of AI, but I also would like ask somebody who's really great at sales to, for their support. Maybe they have like a consulting fee and I can, talk to them for 30 minutes on how to, generate leads and how to do cold calling and things like that. So I would say that sales and operationalizing my systems, those are definitely some skills that I lack, but I'll be working on this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So operations and sales.
Yeah.
So if you could have a business partner today, it would be a salesperson or operations person?
It would probably be just a general personal assistant. I should say business assistant. I don't really need somebody in my personal life right now, but a business assistant that can help drive lead, like an all-encompass, a person that can do it all. A person that can do it all. Yeah.
Like basically just a co-founder, right? As a co-founder?
I would say no, because I would love to. I just can't see. For me, it's like, okay, I can't necessarily have a co-founder of Keeping It G. Keeping It G is me. Like, I just feel like as a person, I wouldn't be able to, like, that makes sense.
Your
website, my brand.
Your website is
your
name.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it has to be a personal assistant.
Correct.
It can't just be someone who has the same passion as you. because
Right.
I get that.
Yeah, because it's my message. I can't teach somebody, a co-founder, okay, hey, co-founder, like, this is my message. Go out and, be great. Like, I can't like loan their lips to say the exact thing that I want to say. So no, it is me and solo. And that's one thing I didn't even realize either, Damari. Like, because when I first started on my own, I was like, oh, it'll just be me, 30 years down the line. And then I realized that my business was getting bigger. I'm like, oh, at some point I'll have a team of people, right? So that is one thing that I feel like I didn't think about as much. I'm just thinking, like, it'll just be my solopreneurship. It's just me out here. But at some point, I'm going to have a full blown.
Yeah.
Which is exciting too.
Right. So the first team member is going to be a salesperson.
Yeah, definitely a salesperson. Okay. Yeah, it's somebody who knows how to manage a CRM.
Dope. People don't want to do it, manage a CRM.
Not at all.
Like my first business partner, he just wanted to be the co-founder, but we couldn't find out he had the skills to run the CRM. So, my mentor basically told me, like, have him take control of one of your, something from your tech stack. I was like, hey, do you want to? I asked him, I was like, hey, do you want to try to run HubSpot?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And he was just like, yeah, I'll look into it.
Yeah.
A week later, he was like, man, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
He quit on it just because I asked him to run HubSpot.
Wow.
He didn't want to do anything anymore. I was just like, one little thing. But it was okay. He was starting to, whatever.
Yes.
Things were changing.
Yes. But find the experts. I'll find an expert in a CRM, and they can run it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I would just like to show up and do the show. Yeah. Now that back end operational, that's not my strength, and I hope to get there. But
so this is another question. I know you probably haven't, but you probably have too. But have you ever questioned your purpose, as a speaker, or with your whole business? Have you ever questioned your purpose?
No, never.
No,
I've never questioned it. Yeah, I've never questioned it, because I think when you know you have a calling on your life, it's not really something you can opt out of.
Yeah.
If God is telling me this is exactly what I want you to do, and on stage is where I feel most at home and most natural, it's not something I can really doubt.
Right.
If I were doing anything else, it would be unnatural and inauthentic, and that is, that is.
Yeah, and I felt this in my heart that you were going to say no. Yeah. This is the first no that I
really
had all the episodes.
What?
This is the very first no. Okay. And I was like, she's probably going to say no.
Yeah, it's a no. It's a no, just because I talked a little about responsibility. I genuinely do feel like it's my responsibility to do this work. And so it's nothing I question. It's hard, of course, on the day to day, it's not the easiest thing. But like I said, anything else would be unnatural and not aligned. I feel I'm in alignment right now. When I'm on stage, I'm in alignment. And so anything that is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So no, I don't doubt it.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm just happy. I'm happy that you are living in, within your purpose.
Thank you. Me too.
You're using your gift that God gave you you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do in this world.
Yes.
And it's going to grow. It's going to get more. You're going to get more stuff. But that's truly a blessing.
Thank you. I know it is. I thank God for it every single day. And I hope that everyone finds what I have right now. I hope everyone finds their passion and gets to live it and make a living off of it, because it's changed my life completely.
And this is why I'm even doing a podcast. I'm forcing myself to do this.
I love that.
I'm just forcing myself, because honestly, I still don't feel like I'm a great speaker. I'm still not great at editing. I didn't know how I was going to set up the studio. And I just
you did a great job, y'all.
I just do it every single day.
Yeah.
And people, I don't feel like it's great, but people just keep bigging me up, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like, I'm just going to push the 500.
Yes.
I'm just going to push the 500.
500 episodes?
500 episodes.
You can definitely do that. You can definitely do that. That's a great goal. That is a great goal. And I will say, you are a great speaker. I think a lot of people don't understand either. It's funny, because I actually saw Angela Yee speak for the first time in person yesterday at the Detroit Business Symposium. And people don't necessarily think of Angela Yee as a speaker like they would think of me as a speaker, because you don't necessarily see her online giving keynotes, but you hear her all the time on the radio, you see her Instagram and things, but she is a speaker, right? Even if she's different platforms, she is absolutely a speaker. So, you're a speaker just sitting here talking to me.
Yeah.
But people don't look at it the same. They think a speaker is inspirational.
Yeah. I'm getting my reps in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that's just what I'm trying. My mom told me I should try, what do you call those things where people, speakers, they're trying to, they get together in this little group and just practice. What do you call it?
Is it like Toastmasters?
Toastmasters.
Yeah.
So many,
Yeah.
get into Toastmasters.
I've heard good things about Toastmasters. I was in a speaker group that is dissolved now, but it's where I like learn the game of speaking. So I highly recommend groups like that. Also like National Speakers Association, they have multiple chapters across, all over the U.S. So yeah, I think getting in a group is also great.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure. I'm trying to find a coach or something like that.
Yes, and coaches like, hey, you want to coach? I can coach you.
Hey, let's do it.
Let's do
also,
it.
if you find any of those groups, just think about me.
I will.
If I found one, just try this one.
Absolutely, I will.
That'd be great.
I absolutely will.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
So what is the biggest lesson you've learned being a founder?
Always have a contract, y'all. Always have a contract, even if it is something that is a volunteer opportunity, or, you met somebody, you met them on a handshake. Like, we didn't have a contract today for the podcast, but if there's like money on the line, or it's a, massive platform or whatever, I mean, you're going to get to a massive platform. We're only in season 2. I look forward to episode 500 when you're way bigger. It's so important. I had actually one client in particular that I felt like really took advantage of me, because it was like a call for speakers. One of my friends was like, hey, you should apply for this. And they asked me for way more than I feel like I signed up for. It was a great exposure for me, but I feel like they were asking me to have too many meetings and like, hey, can you just post on this day? And it's like, no, I can't just post on this day because I'm posting something else for an event that's happening sooner. So it's just always have a contract, and it's just to protect yourself and your own boundaries. Another thing, you talked about Toastmasters and things. It's important to take advice from people, but apply the nuggets that work best for you.
Yeah.
You have to take every single thing that somebody says and be like, ooh, I'm going to do exactly what this person said because they're killing it. Big Sean says it perfectly. He said, when I start comparing my purpose to someone else's, it's no longer my purpose. So if I'm trying to do exactly what my speaker friend is doing, like, then it's no longer what I'm supposed to be doing, right? So take advice from people that are really doing it and killing the game, but also just take the nuggets away that apply to you, because it has to resonate with you. You have to feel comfortable with the products that you're putting out and the services that you're providing.
Yeah, you can't. Nobody can tell you. It's like, you can't give me your platform. I can't speak like you.
Exactly.
I have to take one little thing from you and use it for me, because I got my own life, and you got your own life.
Exactly.
It's just like we're on 2 separate roads.
Right.
It's like it just won't work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's dope. So where did you learn this from?
Where did I learn speaking?
No. Where did you learn, the tip that you just...
Tidbit that I shared. Okay. So generally from people giving me advice, and just knowing people will tell you exactly how to do things that they will never do. Like, do you ever feel like that? Somebody be like, oh, tomorrow you should have so-and-so on your podcast, or you should do it this way. Or with people, I'm sure, do that all the time, right? People who don't have a podcast.
Yes.
Right. Or never have a podcast. What does that feel like to you?
I don't even want to say it. It'd be kind of rude.
Yeah.
But, I learned this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, don't take advice from people that never did what they're trying to tell you what to do. Like, if you never had a business, I'm like, sometimes I am extremely straightforward. Sometimes, and
you got to be in business,
and it's bad. I'm like, sorry, but have you ever even did this before yourself? Where did you get this information?
Exactly.
So I'm like, I can't take this advice.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
You have zero experience in this.
Exactly. So I learned that just from my own experience in building my practice. I mean, there's so many people that say, oh, you should do this, or you should do this, or you should do this, whatever. And it's just like, yeah, I can only take as much advice as I can. I'll take the advice and the nuggets that I feel like apply most to where I'm at or what I'm going to do, but I can't listen to everything and to everybody all the time. I'd be going nowhere.
Right.
If you took in everybody's advice, it would be conflicting, complaining, all of that. Like, I have to take what works for me.
Right. And then, it just think, I have a mobile app company. Everybody is always saying you need to do this, but that stuff costs money.
Right. Yeah.
For me to just try this thing that you think I should do, it's going to cost me like $4,000.
Yeah.
I can't just tweak my app for you. And you probably never even opened my app before.
Is it downloaded?
Exactly. You have my app on your phone. Have you seen it?
Exactly.
I heard somebody tell me like, oh, that my app wasn't for them, or something like that. And she was like, yeah, I looked into it, and it just doesn't seem like it's for me. And then after in our conversation, come to find out she never even looked at it. But she was telling me these things like that I should change within the application. She never truly downloaded it.
Right.
And I didn't figure that out until deeper in our conversation. She's like,
and already dissing you.
let me download it. I'm like, what are you even talking about here?
And people will diss you more when you're on your own. Like, I feel like I have gotten so many more, a lot has been exposed since I went on my own. People will stop supporting you. People will, start even liking your posts. The shared activity on Instagram now is telling me all I need to know, because there are some people that I felt like stopped supporting me when I launched my business. And now it's like, oh, I have the data right here. Like, this person literally, you can see that where they stopped liking my photos is when I, launched my business, and they haven't engaged with it since. So it's important to just like be so solid within yourself that you don't necessarily need that external validation. Like, for me, I care about what I think, and I care about the people who are closest to me think, and I can't let anybody that's hating on me or who would never take a bet on themselves affect, what I got going on. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep pushing forward. And one thing that's exciting too is I'm realizing in my 30s that you can make new friends in your 30s. Yeah. And yeah, you can leave people in your 20s and make new friends in your 30s, and people that you can choose. Because a lot of times I think people are friends with people for so long because, we grew up together, or we lived around the corner from each other, whatever that is. And I'm all about having quality relationships and nothing less than that. Yeah.
So solid. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what advice would you give new entrepreneurs today?
Advice.
Yeah. What's some advice that you would give a new entrepreneur? Somebody new starting a business. Like, yeah, what would you tell them?
You have to know your value.
Mm-hmm.
People will place a value on you every day of the week. Know your value, know what you bring to the table, because if you let people put a price on you, like, that's the price, right? So if like I said, I walked away from multiple opportunities where I'm like, I know they have the budget, they just don't want to pay me, then I'm willing to walk away. Like, not every bag is a good bag. Not all money is good money. And so be willing to walk away from opportunities that don't align with your brand, or maybe your audience isn't necessarily there. Right. It's critical to know your worth, and also put your own price on it. A lot of people are like, well, I don't know what I would charge for this. Right. And I'm like, well, what would you charge? Go on ChatGPT. What is the going rate? Like, how much do you feel like you are worth based on your experience, your expertise, your just your knowledge, your education, whatever that is. You have to value yourself, and be able to. That also needs to have a price. Like, if people ask you, like, I know exactly, if somebody asked me to speak today what my fee is, I can tell you off the top of my head, right? But you need to be able to do that about your business too. Like, let's say you have some sort of coaching services, like coaching services I have. I know exactly how much I charge per hour. I charge that amount of money per hour because I only want to work with people that are serious, and it has to be worth it for me. So just always, because people will try, I'm sure people have to pick my brain for free all the time, and I'm not doing that too often anymore. Because I'm like, this is coaching. So if you're picking my brain all the time, like, this is coaching. So know your value and know your price. The price is the price.
Yep.
The price is the price. Don't lower it.
That's solid.
Yeah. Thank you.
I love all that stuff. So if this year went well, if next year goes perfect for you, what does that look like?
When next year goes perfect?
When next year goes perfect?
When it goes perfectly for me, it looks like I'm speaking 4 times a month at my full fee. Work does not feel like work. I'm traveling globally. I have clients that I have repeat business, and I'm speaking to my target audiences. I speak to everyone, but I speak at a lot of women's conferences. I speak to women, underrepresented groups, and emerging leaders. So if I'm like bouncing around, maybe on the HBCU tour, and I'm speaking to all the HBCUs, or speaking to the Black student unions at PWIs, like, that would be everything. So for me, it is that, but also launching some new content. A lot of the content everyone has seen from 2025 had been a lot of event recaps. So look forward to more. I'm calling it G, keep it in G, and maybe even a podcast soon. Yes.
That would be dope.
Keep it in G podcast.
Yeah. Wow, that would be fire.
Yes.
So is that all the new stuff you got coming? Because that was my next question. What new stuff do you have coming out?
I also have a new topic coming out, you all. I'm very excited to share with you. I'll launch it in 2026, but one thing that a lot of speakers do is, they speak on multiple topics. So I'm creating a new topic. It is aligned with self-advocacy, but it is a little bit of a different lane, but it's all underneath the Keeping It G umbrella. So yeah, stay tuned for some new content via different mediums and new topic.
That is dope.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, thank you. You have to be on my podcast.
I will.
Yes.
I will. 1,000%.
Good.
But yeah, so that's all of my questions that I have for you today.
Thank you.
I did not want this episode to be. I was just like, man, just keep giving me. What's up, Brad? Get more questions. But yeah, so I thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Let everybody know like where they can find you. Share your socials, websites, all that good stuff.
Yes.
Camera right there.
Yes, everyone, you can reach me at GeralynGaines.com. I'm also on Instagram at Geralyn Gaines Keeping It G. Same thing on Threads. I'm loving Threads. And if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, it is linkedin.com/Geralyn-Gaines. So hope to see you and meet you all soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining this episode of Founder Fumbles. If Geralyn inspires you in any way, shape, or form, please go check out her website, her socials, all that good stuff. And please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. Thank you so much again for watching it. And until next time, peace.